It's really weird because I kind of miss this personality that I had a couple of months ago. And what I mean by that is I feel like I'm not as capable of both exchanging and just feeling intimacy at the moment. Like when people offer me words of affirmation, when people give me gifts, it makes me pretty uncomfortable actually, because I feel like I'm just not in the mental headspace to kind of capture that at the moment. And I think it's mostly a product of partly isolation, but partly just a reorganization of my mental furniture into different things. So on the first thing, since I've moved to SF, I've notably not really hung out with that many people, and I think that probably frays out a lot of the social muscles that I've been previously worked on. And right now it's just, I think it takes time to readjust those muscles back into being in shape. And for the second thing, I feel that whenever I concentrate on anything artistic or academic, I feel like my social mind just kind of like shuts off. Like I'm unable to prioritize two things at once. I can't be both social and artistic or social and academic. But academic and artistic minds are more or less compatible to a certain extent, just not with social interaction. And I think that's kind of partly what I'm experiencing as well. I feel like I'm studying a lot, which I guess is necessary, and my artistic output is also reasonably high. And precisely because of those facts, I feel like the part of my brain that's reserved for, feeling alive during social interactions just kind of like withered away, because it's just unnecessary brain power that gets pruned away, if you will. Yeah, it's really weird thinking about my life this way, but I think more and more it makes me realize that I go through these intense cycles where I feel like certain parts of my personality get really just thrown out there and are basically representative of my entire personality for a given moment of time. And then there's like this cyclical change in which that personality gets kind of shelved, and then a new personality takes over, and so forth. And the more and more I live in various different environments around various different people, it makes me realize that this is more and more the case, that I just cycle through different personalities depending on what's optimal at a given moment in time. For example, when I have friends, I just take all the all the intellect I had in regards to studying, in regards to creating art, I just move it aside and just don't touch it for however long I have friends. And then whenever I don't have friends, I take this part of my brain that's social and just, bury it, and then take the part of my brain that's artistic and intellectual and just move it back into the fold. And I feel like that's just been the case for so long, and I'm not sure why it is. I don't know why I'm unable to kind of have all three of those at once, but it's one of those things where it just comes and goes, like I have like 2-3 years of intense artistic and academic output, and then I make friends and I have like 1 year of like friendship, and then that gets put away, and then I go back into this cycle again. And since I'm only in SF for 3 years, I guess it perfectly times to this like 3-year cycle of kind of like isolation paired with artistic and intellectual inspiration. And then like when I do my MBA, like I'll be in social mood again, hopefully. it would be really kind of bad if I was still in this like dark, angsty, artistic slash academic state of mind when I'm doing an MBA, because I feel like there's certain skills that are just like not encouraged, and that's definitely one of them. So we'll see. But in the meantime, I think I just want to get as much out there as I can, and before I kind of revert back to my social self. And yeah, and just like this past weekend, I had a couple of friends visit. I went to a couple of events, and I don't know, it's not just that the number of friends I have are changing, it's also just my capability of feeling close to my existing friendships as well that are also changing. Like I feel, even though nothing about the friendship has physically changed, I feel like I'm unable to feel the intimacy I derive from it as well as I did before. And it is what it is, you know, it's just like I just have to wait through the cycle, and I suppose I'll be fine, and just make sure I don't break anything until then, which is pretty hard honestly, but nothing I haven't been through before. So